Hi, it's Nicole Norris here. I'm coming to you live and on January 11th, which I'm telling you the date of when I record this video because this weekend today is Creative Memories is hosting a virtual crop. So it doesn't matter where you are, you can join in on the fun for the virtual crop. So I just want to tell you a little bit about it. There's a Facebook group that you can join. I'll make sure I put a link in the description of this video. And what they do is it started on Friday at 5 o'clock Central Time, I think it was 5 o'clock. Anyways, they post some sketches for you to use during the crop. So there's 2 single page sketches, and then there's 2 more sketches that are 2-page, like double page layouts. So these are the sketches for this January crop. The reason I want to make sure you get in on this is because there's also, if you can print out this tracker, all of these, like the sketches and this tracker and everything I'm showing you is in the files section of the Facebook group. There's lists all 12 months, and then if you complete the sketches for each month, you can mark it on this paper to keep track. And then there's like a huge prize at the end, like they have a big drawing for a prize at the end. But you can also earn prizes each month. So what you can do is post your picture, a picture of your layout that you created using the sketches. You want each sketch on its own post. And so, like, for example, today I'm going to be actually doing this sketch. So I would post a picture and I would put hashtag CM Virtual Crop 2 January 2025 in the description of my post in the and to enter in the drawing. And there's some prizes that you can win as well. So it's super fun to play along. And I know it's sometimes hard to join in on the weekends and stuff like that, but for some people that works really well. For some people that's hard, but I'm going to do this sketch today is what I'm planning on doing. So let me show you my pictures. I have these 2 pictures. These are of my son. This is my son clear back here. And these were pictures. He was part of the youth council, and they were at a conference up at Utah State. So I just have these 2 pictures. This is all I have for his whole youth council experience this year, for this particular year. Anyways, so I have these 2 pictures, and like I said, the sketch I'm doing is from the Virtual Crop Sketch 2, so it's this one. And you'll notice that they have 4 pictures on here. So what I actually did is I printed out a 3.5 by 3.5 photo that I'm going to use for this photo, and then this one is a 5 by 7 that I'm going to do for this photo bank right here. So because this is 5 by 9 inches of photo space, so mine's going to be 5 by 7. So it's going to be a little bit different photo placement, but I hope that helps you see how you can adapt these sketches to work with your pictures if they're a little different. So I have pulled some paper that I'm thinking that I want to use for this sketch. And here's the crazy thing. I mean, these pictures were taken like in March. There is some snow on the ground, but they aren't like necessarily winter theme or anything like that. And what I have pulled here is from some different collections. So this particular piece actually comes from the winter flurry collection. So let me show you the kind of cover page of this. So Flurry of Fun, sorry. This is where this blue piece, this navy piece of paper comes from, Flurry of Fun, which is a winter collection. But my layout is not obviously going to be winter at all. So that's where I pulled this sheet of paper. This red plaid actually comes from there as well. And then this piece comes from the Bold and Slate Designer Paper Pack. And this may have been an exclusive collection for paper pack for advisors. So there's usually, I think, a new collection every quarter. I'm kind of still new at Creative Memories. I'm figuring everything out still. So if I say something wrong, totally correct me in the comments. It's fine. I get it. But I do believe that this was a collection that they released, like a new collection, like each quarter. And this was the collection they released to advisors. And it had this gray, it's color in it that had kind of the words on it that I liked. And then I did want a little bit more color. So in that, I liked this red. Red's my favorite color. So I pulled this piece of red, and I've got some white cardstock and also some craft cardstock from my stash. Now, I'm not going to be only using Creative Memory products here. Actually, I want to cut first. Just so you know, I will use things from my stash for these type of projects because I'm going to pull what's actually going to work for my pictures. That's the priority. So what I'm thinking for this layout is I think I'm going to use the white base, a white piece of cardstock for my base. I'd actually kind of pulled some other, like either like the craft or things like that, but I actually think I want the white cardstock for my base. And then you can see that on the sketch, it does have the dimensions of the pieces on here. And there's not very many pieces. We've got a 10.5 by 10.5, which is what I'm going to use this blue for. So it's going to kind of lay on there. And then we have this piece here that's 5.5 by 10.5. And that's what I'm going to use this piece for, that has the scripty words on it. And then this 12 by 2. And that's where I think I'm going to use this red piece. My piece is not 12 inches. I think it's about 1.5 inches. But I think it's going to be fine. And I'm going to use up that scrap. So let's go ahead and get cutting and get our paper ready. And then we'll see where we end up and go from there. So I'm going to pull out this piece of blue. And it looks like we need a 10.5 by 10.5 square. Oh, that's already out. Okay, perfect. Perfect. Okay. And then let's see if I can get both of these pieces. I might switch here so you can see what I'm doing here. So this is what we've got so far. Okay, and then we've got this piece that's going to kind of come down, and then that's going to go across. Are you catching the vision? Do you like this color scheme? Okay, so on this piece, on the cutting guide, it's a 5.5 by 10.5 piece. So, I think the 5.5 is gonna work fine. So, but I might need a little bit longer because I'm using, well, actually, yeah. So my picture is a 3.5 by 3.5 instead of a 3-inch height on my picture. So I'm not going to get too crazy about cutting off the length right away because I may need mine to be a little bit longer. So that's actually, okay. I'm going to cut that 5.5. Okay. So mine, it's going to sit here. Let's see. And then this piece, just the one, it's supposed to be a 2-inch by 12, but mine's like 1.5 by 12, which is fine. I think it'll work fine. So I could just adjust it to how much it's overlapping. So I'm really liking the layering, and I'm liking how this is looking on here so far. Okay, so this photo comes down here, and in the sketch, let's see. I think I need to move that up. Got that at about 7. This piece is supposed to come down so that it below the photo. So see how it kind of frames the photo there? And that's where I'm like, oh, I better make sure I have my piece exactly where I want it. And they actually have this piece over and it like that on the sketch. See how it comes behind those two photos? So I could go like that, or I actually could scoot this over. And that's the thing with using a sketch, is it's just a starting off point. Don't feel like you have to follow it exactly. It's just to give you that kind of starting off point. Because I don't have to put that exactly center. In fact, on the sketch, it's not. So I'm kind of liking that. Where's my center? Oh, it's 3/4 of an inch. Okay. All right, so I think I'm liking how that's looking versus on theirs, on the sketch where it's would be scooted over, and then this, which that doesn't look bad at all either. So kind of have the two options there. Okay, and then we have this little border or something that goes along the page along the bottom of this, our 2-inch strip, mine being 1.5. So I kind of dug through my stash a little bit. I looked through some punches, I looked through a couple of things, and I tried a couple of different things. I like did a punch. Let me show you what I punched. I punched this border, and I just felt like it was too big and too lacy. I felt like things were kind of a little too squished. So I actually pulled out of my stash. I had these craft borders that are seriously, like, I don't even know. These are way old. I've had those for a long time, but they had this little thin craft border, and I really liked how that looks because it was thin to keep it in proportion. Like, we have the larger, and then we have a small, and then tiny, and it didn't compete with the photos. And I thought that that actually looked really good right there. So the other thing I might think about doing is actually cutting down this gray on, because it's supposed to be just bigger than the photo, so it looks like it's framing the photo. I might want to cut down that strip into a narrower strip. So we might kind of have to play around with that. The other thing I had pulled out is a piece of craft cardstock to see if I wanted to mount my photo. So when I printed the photos, I had them print with a white border, and I think that white border is enough of a frame that I think that that is sufficient. And then the paper, I don't think it needs an additional frame on those photos to make them pop. So I actually think that that looks pretty good. Like I said, the only thing I might consider doing with embellishing is cutting this strip down. It'll kind of depend on how our embellishments work out. Because the other option is to, yeah, I don't like the picture on that side. I think I like it better on that side. So let's leave it there for a second. Okay, so there is a chance I'm gonna want to cut this strip down a little bit. So the next thing on here is just the embellishments in the title. So I have pulled out I had these words that are in white, and they're just some laser cut words. All right, I accidentally stopped the video on accident. Okay, so I have these laser cut words. They came from the launch bundle, the 2025 launch bundle that you could order for Creative Memory Advisors. And I was looking through here, And we had a couple of titles that I actually think would be awesome. So I have this Let's Have Fun, which this conference that they were at is a ton of fun. That's the whole point of it. And I had this Dream Big that I thought was really cute. So I think either of those options. In the sketch, they have the title down here and then your journaling underneath it. I don't think I would use both. I really like how that one looks up there, and I like the Dream Big down here. So if I do Let's Have Fun, I'm gonna, the title up there, I think that'll go well there, and I could put my journaling here. If I do my title down here, I like the Dream Big, and I could put my journaling underneath here. So I really like that. Not sure which one yet. The other thing I pulled out is, and I love these little trays, by the way. I had some foam letters, and this is the Millville City Youth Council, so MCYC. And I thought it would be kind of fun to do like a I Heart MCYC type of a thing with these letters. So that could be kind of cute as well. But I wonder if that's too many like titles here and here. So let's do a little shifting just to see. If I put this photo over here and this one here, the Dream Big, I had a couple of different heart options. I had these little red hearts, or I had this heart too. So I'm thinking is the I Heart MCYC, which I think would be super cute. You know what else I think I want to do? I think I want to tear the edge, maybe the bottom edge of this piece. Okay. How are we liking this? Okay. You know what? Sometimes the hardest thing is committing. Is committing to the design. So, all right. We're going for it. We're just gonna go for it. So let's, there is, in my last video, actually I might have cut it out of my last video, but I've been having some adhesive issues. I have used Tombow for years, and my Tombow dispensers, I've had some really big frustrations with them, so I've kind of been on the hunt for a new adhesive, and Creative Memories has, but I need to use up what I've got. But Creative Memories is having a Adhesive Buffet tomorrow, starting on Monday, that I am super excited about, because there is some large adhesive dispenser that's coming out. Okay, I know I have to still cut this off, and I'll cut it off after I get it glued down here. Well, that could be cute, coming all the way. And my picture wouldn't be so crowded. Kind of like that. I'm really going rogue today, huh? I'm just liking how this is coming together. I think I'm gonna kind of more center that. Anyways, Monday, there is a Adhesive Buffet happening, which means when you purchase adhesive that is eligible, you can get a free gift with a qualifying purchase. I think it is a $75 purchase, and that new dispenser, large dispenser, it's kind of like one of these, actually, the Scrapbook Adhesive Easy Runner brand, but it's blue and it's Creative Memories. It has the Creative Memories adhesive in it. So I am super stoked about trying that out, and we will be having refills. The refills aren't available yet because they are they had some trouble getting them here in time. Okay, I am really liking this. I'm just gonna trim off the top of that. So I'm gonna use this little guide to make sure I'm right where I need to be. Perfect. Okay, how cute is that? All right, so we've got this Dream Big that we're going to put down here, and then I'll put the journaling underneath it. I'm committing to the Dream Big. The purpose of Youth Council is it's really involving the youth into helping their community. So the goal of Youth Council is to be involved in government, to build leadership skills, and to build friendship too among the youth in your area. And it's a great program. I actually run the program here in my current town that I live in. And it's a lot of fun to work with the youth. You just really get to work with the cream of the crop. Okay, you can see that kind of adhesive. I had a little bit more than I probably needed on there, but it'll dry clear, so it'll be fine. All right, so we just need our I Love MCYC. So I think I want to start with the MCYC on here first. And I'm using my ruler here because I can actually kind of stick these just to the ruler and get the spacing perfect. Before I stick it down. Okay, so I think I want these letters a little bit closer so it fits. On the gray word paper. See how I was able to kind of adjust make sure it's right where I want before I stick them down. So this ruler technique is really nice. Okay, and then I think I want to pop this little heart up. The other thing that is coming on Monday is thin 3D foam tape, which that's what I use. I use thin 3D foam tape. So I've been using this other kind because it's thin, and then you'll be able to get it from Creative Memories now. So, which is super awesome. And then one more. Little eye, my tweezers here. Oh, how cute. How cute. I like to mix fonts on a layout, so I love that we've got like these bold letters here, and then we've got some different fonts. And look, that's glued and it's clear. So the last thing is to just add a few more finishing embellishments to the layout. So if we look at this, we've got some 3 embellishment clusters, and it's to make kind of that triangle. So they have some kind of down here, an element up here, and then an element up here. I already have this up here. So what I could do is a couple of things I was thinking. I have these hearts that I could add, kind of scatter some hearts. I also have these wood hearts that could be cute. Something like this. We've already got kind of that one up there. And I could mix it with some of these little ones. I kind of like how that's looking. Let's do that. The other thing I had thought of using is I had a die cut to do some stars, but where I've got this heart up here, I kind of like repeating that. And I think I kind of want to use these little bit darker hearts. So I know this is for my son, and hearts are kind of definitely more of a feminine thing, but I'm okay with that. That doesn't bug me at all. And you know what? I could actually use you know what? I think that 3, I like 3s and 5s, so I like to try to keep it. I've got this 3 and then the 2 down here. I think that that's actually really good. All right, let's see. I need to add my journaling, and then I'm actually think I'm gonna take my black pen and draw around a line around the edge of this layout. So let me show you how to do this. Probably should have done it before I glued down my hearts, but it's okay. We'll try to do it anyways. Here we go. So what you do when you're doing this, let me show you on a scratch piece of paper. Here's the trick, is to, try to see if I have some scratch paper, this will work. when you're drawing a line around the edge of your paper, you want to be looking ahead, look to where you're going. And you're just gonna I'm holding my hand, I'm just sliding my hand across. And I'm looking forward and I'm just kind of free-handing it across there. You can totally use a ruler if you want. This is why I said it would have been easier if I had done it before. But I'm just gonna look ahead. And it's supposed to be like not a perfectly straight line. So it's totally okay if it little wobbles there. Go slow, don't feel like you have to go fast. It's definitely a little trickier going over those hearts. But that just kind of frames, especially if you're using a white cardstock for your frame. Okay, perfect. All right, now I'm just gonna go get my journaling ready and I'll to add my journaling, and I think this layout will be done. Okay, now I have my journal ready. I went and typed it up. I just printed it off on a piece of cardstock, and I'm actually going to show you how I make the strips. So I just created a text box that I knew that I wanted about 4 inches and about 2 1/4 inches of space here. Yeah, hopefully that fits. We'll see. Anyways, and then I double spaced it. And what I'm going to do is using my little guillotine type trimmer. Yeah, that should be, that's 4 inches wide. And then I'm gonna cut these little strips. So that's where that one is. This is going to create these little strips. So I'm lining the text up like it's, the text is just barely touching the edge of the guide right here, which is basically giving me, just like as it's barely touching, that's kind of where I'm, like the text of the row below. Hopefully that makes sense. The nice thing about doing it this way is I don't, like if you make little strips, like I just could use a text box like in like a Word document or something, and it worked really good. So except for this last one, I gotta. Oh, that worked good. Okay. All right, so now I have these little word strips. What I was saying is it works nice to use a text box because then as you're typing, you don't have to worry about like where you're returning and stuff like that. So I actually need to put these in order real quick. Brock, he had the opportunity to attend the leadership conference. And keynote speakers, team building activities, and dance. Okay, so I have, let's see if this is gonna fit. Let's see how I did, if I measured well. The nice thing is I can just kind of space these, like stagger them a little bit, which makes a little bit more interest. And it's too long. So I am actually gonna go and reprint these and shrink it down a little bit more so that it'll fit in my spot. Okay, I'm back with my text reprinted, smaller, so that it fits this time, hopefully. Let's see. That one goes there. Yeah, make sure you put your text in the right order. There we go. That fits perfect. Okay, what didn't fit is the date, but I may stick it over here, like under the heart or something like that. So, all right, I have my text in the right order. I am going to carefully flip it over here and add adhesive. I'm not sure if it actually stayed in the right order, but I will make sure when I'm gluing it down that it still reads correctly. So I'm going to line it up, and I am just going to add my adhesive to all of it at once. The nice thing is I can stick it on this mat that's behind me and it'll be fine. Okay, use my tweezers and can start to attend. Add this journaling. Some other ways I like to do journaling is sometimes I handwrite my journaling. I think it's good for the kids I want them to have my handwriting. Sometimes I like this word strips. I like the interest that it like adds to this space by having the different word strips. See, that fit perfect. It actually is almost a little small. So I could just chop this off. Sometimes I print on vellum and add it to my layouts. Right there. And so I'm going to adhesive. That has the date. And then what if we take a little heart and add right there. Perfect. Ta-da! And that is a wrap. That layout is done. I think it turned out super cute. So this is what we started with. I followed the sketch pretty close. It's really close. Just a few minor adjustments with my photos and the paper, and this is what we ended up with. All right, thanks for joining me. Happy scrapbooking.